spins a web any size, catches thieves just like flies. Look out, here comes the Spider-Man.
Hello, hello. So it's Raf, technicantica.com. How are you doing today? Well, it's the end of the summer and people coming back from holidays, starting to sing along again. And thus, another video trying to sort out some questions and some, doubts perhaps. So today's video, the spider web. Now, there's nothing to do with Spider-Man. It's just the way I try to sort of express or to describe better that apoyo, that contact, that leaning against the pharynx that we sort of talk about all the time.
There once was a ship that put to sea, and the name of the ship was the Belly of Tea. The
Spider-Man, Spider-Man.
I explained in the very long video I made on the history of singing schools. Now, why do I call it spiderweb? Because although I always defend that singing is a very athletic action, and it requires somehow effort, too much effort, it's always, how can I say this, a challenge. Thus, sometimes we get driven by either the dramatism of a piece or even an exercise, and we start to think that we need to be louder, that we need to be bigger, and thus we have to make more effort to support our voices. And that's not the case. Perhaps at the very beginning, when you start getting to know this technique that is very organic, and getting to know your voice through the exercises, perhaps you must require a bigger effort. And you're gonna see that as you progress and as your instrument gets, more familiar with this sort of organic way of singing, you require less and less effort. Now, as I explained with Lamperti defended that in order to make a sound bigger, to grow a sound, you just require more air pressure. Now, more air pressure does not mean pushing. Once again, I explain the vocal folds, right? That they are not as big as your fingers, right? They are as little as your fingernail. They basically come closer to each other and they start vibrating with a set of muscles and ligaments that are called the arytenoids. Okay, both muscles, ligaments, cartilage, the arytenoids. And the other function inside the larynx that stretches the folds is actually the cricothyroid system, composed again by muscles and ligaments. As you ascend, you're gonna notice more the second half, or the first. It really depends on the way you think, either stretching and vibrating or vibrating and stretching. To be honest, the most logical way of thinking it, in my humble opinion, is actually stretching and thus vibrating. How do we optimize that? Just tilting the larynx, which has nothing to do with sort of making the folds come together, nor stretching. It's like an independent action, because basically this is the boat. This is your larynx, Adam's apple. This is your boat, and then everything that is inside is like the clock, right? The mechanism. If you do not manage to tilt or to lower your larynx, this inside mechanism of stretching and vibrating is not going to be optimized. Is it going to work? Possibly, but it's not going to be optimized. Why do I say this? Because we feel the need in our minds to I can say, like, to blow the hell out of the whole thing as we ascend, and thus we create constriction. And I always say that everything is closer to each other. So if I take 2 octaves and I just go la. That's all it takes. Larynx, folds, cricothyroid, arytenoid sound, and everything is closer to each other than what you might think. Again, I can so if I go from C3, I go la. Not my note. No, it's an F, and I've been teaching all day. I'm tired, but hey, la. And I start to go semitone by semitone, and just extending everything. Starts to work together. And honestly, I'm going to try to illustrate what happens in my larynx, okay? La. So that's F and C5. So basically C3, so that's F2 to C5. This is 2.5, basically, a bit more than 2.5 octaves. Everything is closer than what you think. And you might say, yeah, easier for you. Well, perhaps that's the advantage of being behind the piano and not in front of it. By the way, that helmet is just, I'm planning a trip to the Netherlands. So that's why. It's the motherfucking Eagle Double G. Snoop Dogg. So how can we establish this? Well, let's talk a bit about head voice, falsetto, full voice. Again, Caccini, Zacconi, Lamperti, Garcia, they all said, oh, the primary voice is chest voice for men, not for women. And that's for another video, okay? Maybe I'll record it today. If we take full voice, full mass of the vocal folds, and not total abduction. So there is abduction of the full mass, but not compared to chest voice, not total abduction. How can we figure this out? So if we do this exercise, I said it in other videos, my larynx doesn't rise or doesn't shoot back, and what I'm doing is full adduction. How can I go from that hoodie sound to full voice adduction? That's it. All right. Now, how can I make that smoother? By doing wah, wah. Wah, wah. And that's basically it. Actually, as you go, is a middle C, it's nothing really. And if you want to give it more power, it's going to cost you, because what are you going to grow out of that middle C if you're a tenor, right? If you're a baritone, it's going to be different, because, it's a third lower, more or less. Now, as I ascend, that's it. Wah, wah, wah. No adduction. So let's go to the spiderweb thing. Spider-Man. Or that sort of a light touch. You don't have to kill yourself to produce that last sound. And we take again Addio Fiorito Asil, and that jump from Amor, like C, A flat. Pretty damn, I don't know, simple thing. If it vibrates, if it spins, that's all you need. And from there to somewhere else, it's just a question of being in that gentle place and not pushing the hell out of it, because then everything's gonna get out of whack. So we take again that note, that A flat, we're gonna go to B flat, and actually it's a very good exercise that some other teachers show online. You take that first note and you go, little by little, semitone by semitone, perhaps just higher and higher, but in the very position of that first note. So again, my first note is gonna be that A flat. To high C, from that very B, A flat, B flat, and then that C. Now I'm treading on that spider web. You know the verb to tread means to walk softly, like in William James' poem "The Cloths of Heaven." Tread softly because you tread on my dreams, right? It's a bit poetic, right? I have spread my dreams under your feet. Tread softly because you tread on my dreams. So basically, you're treading on that. If you go way too far, you will crack, because the glottis is attached to your vocal folds. It will sense too much pressure, too much constriction, and Terson will come out of his hiding place and flap it, right? Bam. It goes. If you don't give it enough pressure as to spin that sound, the glottis will punish you for that, and that's why you crack. Now, we are always obsessed about not cracking. It's like an embarrassment. Well, everybody cracks. Everybody. Some people more than others. And please don't hate me for that last video. I know it was a bit of a punishment to show, the little bird. But anyway, the glottis is going to respond to that, because it's going to sense that something is off, and you're going to choke. And then SOS. Mayday. Bam. But again, if you sort of get into panic mode and do shut those, you zip up way too tight, you shut those vocal folds together, and it's like a handbrake, then the glottis is gonna say, you know what, we're choking. So tread softly on your vocal folds. So that's the tip of the day. I hope it helps. If it helped, like and subscribe. If it didn't help, don't watch it. And if you need help, you know where I am. All right, have a great evening. Bye.